All right, we are live.
How's it
Hey,
going?
everybody, welcome back to Curmudgeon's Corner. I think this is Curmudgeon Corner 12. Can't believe that we've done 12 already. I know that's nothing compared to the uh, the old dogs in the room, like Papa Smurf, who's probably got thousands and thousands of live streams under his belt. But this is my official 12th. And tonight we are joined by Big Mike from Big Mike's Bike Detailing. We'll take a few minutes to let everybody get in and get settled in. Make sure you have your apple juice ready to rock and roll. For some reason, they brought me the big bottle of apple juice. I don't see it's necessary, at least in one setting. But you never know how this night's going to go. So um, how's everything going? I see Mark's in the house, Keith Firebird, Humberto, Rick Smith. Rick Smith, big shout out. Thanks for showing me that picture. Rick Smith has one of my Phoenix stickers right next to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s number 3 on his vehicle. That's pretty exciting. That's pretty cool to be sharing the limelight with a legend such as Dale. Papa Smurf's in the house. And Big Mike Bike Detailing is in the house too.
Who's that
I
guy?
wonder who that guy is. He sounds pretty cool.
He does sound like a cool guy.
Miller Detailing, what's going on, sir? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. I'm excited about tonight. We like to showcase small businesses, and it doesn't necessarily need to be in the detailing world, but this one happens to be. I'm looking forward to talking about the story of how we met and as a rising star, what's in store for you next and what's going on. So, like I said, we'll just kind of wait a few minutes to just kind of let everybody get settled in and have a glass, and then we'll start talking about whatever you want to talk about, and then of course we'll field questions, and if there's if there's time and or I don't forget like I usually do, we'll do some trivia related giveaways and things of that nature. So
Absolutely.
anyway, how are you, Mike?
I am good. I am busy. We're just off the walls crazy right now.
I super appreciate you taking the time to jump on the show.
Absolutely.
I know that you're super busy. I know that you're super busy. You got a lot of stuff coming up that's going to keep you even more busy than ever.
Yep.
Just for the record, that is the only decal ever shared that spot. Beautiful. Mr. Smith, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. So Rick, thank you very much. It really is an honor. I'm not lip service here. It is pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess it's never too late to just kind of dive in.
Yeah, for sure.
So Big Mike's Bike Detailing. That's pretty specific. Where'd you come up with that idea?
I've been riding bikes and into bikes my entire life, and took my bikes a couple places to get done, and it's just not bikers miss the things that bikers notice. So we saw a niche and talked about it, and we decided to go for it. And it's definitely taken off like rocket ship. It's not at all what we expected.
It's interesting because I've been getting a lot more and more inquiries about bikes and bike detailing and my product line in particular going on bikes, and I definitely see that trend really starting to take off. Where I used to work, there was a guy that was doing some bike detailing, but it never seemed like he was really it was really taking off for him. But now I see that industry really paying a lot more attention to not just riding a bike, but actually making that bike look as good as it possibly can.
Absolutely.
Hey, Trace,
guys care about their bikes. They spend a lot of money on essentially a toy, and why not take the time and keep it as nice as possible?
So, how long have you been doing it?
Off and on, I would say for the past couple of years. Officially, we've been doing it since March. I think we rolled it out this spring, and it's just like a rocket ship. It's nuts. We're
Yeah.
invited to a bunch of different places, and we meet a lot of people, and we're just having so much fun with it.
Real fast for everybody that's in the room. I think I always like to do a supervillain superhero origin story whenever you come on the show for the
Sure.
first time. Um, Kind of fast forward to how you and I met. We actually were doing the Southern Detailers Conference, as everybody knows, and you joined, like you came down to that show. Now, what got you to go into the Southern Detailers Conference? How did you hear about it, and then what ultimately? I mean, everybody that doesn't know, you're kind of in northeastern PA,
Correct.
so you get down to Kentucky, that's kind of a haul.
Yeah, we drove 10 hours. My girlfriend actually found it, and she was like, "Hey, would you be interested in doing this?" And, sure, why not? And it just probably one of the best decisions that we ever made. I mean, that's obviously where we met, but we made so many relationships down there that words can't even explain it. It's crazy. We went down, we learned a lot. We took your class twice each day.
Yeah, you did both. You did the paint correction on Friday, and you did the ceramic install on Saturday.
Which unknowingly pretty much was the reason why we went. And then to be here, a month and a half, 2 months later.
Yeah.
I couldn't have spent that money any better myself,
That's fantastic. Yeah, so you came to the show Friday. You came to the educational on Friday. You came to the educational on Saturday. We kind of got to know each other a little bit just from the educationals. But what was really fascinating was at the after the show was over on Saturday, my entire posse, the 4 horsemen and their families, we were all going to dinner at that Brazilian steakhouse. And my wife turned around, and you and Dina were there, and I don't know exactly if she thought that you were part of our group or not, but somehow I guess she just invited you to be, she was like, because they were like, we have reservations for 14, and she was like, make it 16.
Yeah.
And then you just joined us at our table, and it was awesome. Like we had the best time. It was
it was crazy. So that was Saturday night, correct?
Yep, Saturday night.
Yeah, so Friday we were sitting in the hotel room after the class, and we were like, oh, what's around? We've never been here, so I'm like, oh, well, there's a Brazilian steakhouse. Why don't we go there? Okay, sure. Well, how about you make a reservation for 6? And then we're just walking down the sidewalk, and I didn't even know where you guys were staying. And for the two of us to come, you guys are coming out of your hotel at the same time that we're walking down the sidewalk, and your wife was so kind and just, invited us to join you for dinner. It was unreal. I couldn't. It was such a wonderful experience.
I get jest or joke is probably the wrong term to use, but we say a lot around here about the divine intervention that has gone on to it's guided Phoenix, and the things that have lined up just perfectly that could be nothing less than divine intervention. And for you to be an hour and a half, 2 hours away from Phoenix, an hour from Brian from Apex, and then for all of us to randomly meet down in Kentucky, and then go on to dinner, the way that we went on to dinner, it wasn't just a chance meeting. It was, you were supposed to be there, we were supposed to be there, we were supposed to connect.
Absolutely.
We had to have. It had to have been, something bigger than just us put us all there together, the way it all came together. And then it wasn't even a week later or so that you came down here to the warehouse, and I got to show you everything, and and we've broken bread a couple of times since then. You've gone down to see Brian at Apex, and I joined you over there at Brian's shop, and we went to lunch there. Like, it really was just absolutely. It's been really, really, really neat how we've all gotten together, and more importantly, and this kind of really kind of seals it. The way that our personalities all mesh, like the four horsemen. We've talked, I've talked about the way that we all interact with each other, but like you just fit in seamlessly with everybody. Your like we were talking about backstage, your dark humor, my dark humor, being able to joke. I mean, there is really nothing that Papa Smurf and I will not make fun of, especially each other. So looks like you got a bunch of big fans. Joanne is in the house, and Dan DeCrane, he was with us. He came. Check this cat out. So Dan, he goes on a cruise to wherever. I forget where he went on a cruise, but he was like, "Hey," he's one of my distributors out in Ohio. And he was like, I'd like to get a bunch of product from you. Is there any way that we can sync up? I'm doing this cruise, but we're driving because I got the kids and all that stuff out of New York. So in a roundabout way, I'm going to be coming near you, of the Bahamas. And so we basically just arranged for Dan to show up at Apex's shop and that I would bring him whatever he wanted. And so then Dan was there, you were there, Brian was there. It was just, again, just another one of those fantastic opportunities to just kind of, I just think that there's this community that we all live in is just, it's really a beautiful thing to be a part of.
Yeah. What's going on, Fab?
Hey, Fab, thanks for showing up. Appreciate the support. You're always there. You always make a point to hang out. Stephanie's in the house. She's another one that we met down at the Southern Detailers Conference. She's another rising star. We're going to have to get her on the show in like August, I think. But anyway, back to you. Anyway, so you got some sort of huge thing coming up on Thursday.
Yes. So we have a bike night coming up Thursday night at the Riverwalk in Parryville. And I'm just over the top excited for that.
Yeah.
You're coming.
Yeah, I'm going to be there, definitely. Which is exciting.
That's awesome. Yep.
It's going to be fun.
The man behind the curtain.
Yeah, I did a car show last week. A local car show. That's a lot of fun. These little car shows. I don't think that they get enough credit for, especially in a guy like you in your position of detailing, to really get your name out there and be able to interact with people. I've sponsored this car show for a while now, where basically I was just donating bottles and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. And this was the first time that I actually set up the booth and got to meet with these people that, they're fairly regular to these shows.
Yeah.
And what was happening was they would get these door prizes or raffle prizes and things of that nature. They'd get the product like Titan, and then they would just set it on their on their shelf or whatnot, because they didn't know anything about it. They didn't really know what they won, and it was a prize, and so it was just kind of sticking out there. Well, actually going to the show, being able to talk to them, and then when they won the prize, is, hey, congratulations on your prize. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about what you just won, here's my business card. Give me a call. We'll talk about it. And then right then and there, they ask questions. And it becomes, we've moved it from being on the shelf to now I want to put this on my vehicle. Yeah. I would imagine it's very similar for what you're doing. I know that you set up shop at this saloon often, but not an actual hosting a show. So I'm excited for what that has in store.
Yeah, we're so excited. It's a huge step for Big Mike's. I don't know. It feels surreal. I don't even have words to describe. It's crazy.
Okay. So before we get into, we'll circle back around to the date and the times and all that other stuff. One of the conversation pieces that we brought up when I was talking with Chelsea from Attention to Detail, one of the interesting aspects of her situation is that she is she's a mom, and and how does she fit the whole family structure and dynamics into her business? And I just know from conversations that you and I have had, it's very similar to you. I know that you have two children that you're looking after, and often you'd be like, "Well, I got to go pick them up at school, or I got to go do this and go do that." Like, how do you juggle? You know, as a small business owner, how do you find a way to juggle all that together?
Well, I got to say the main thing is being a small business owner. You almost have the freedom to set your own schedule. So if I know I have something coming up, I'm obviously not going to schedule work that day or that time. But it gets tough. It does, because there's places you need to be and there's times you need to be there, and sometimes they clash. And the my boys are very understanding. They get it. They know what's going on. Um, and they're not.
You're also a volunteer fireman, is that correct?
I am correct. Yes.
So, man, I mean, you're just
Yeah.
trying to put 7 pounds of stuff right into a 5
Yeah.
pound bag.
Yeah, it's crazy. We definitely have a full schedule 7 days a week. Like there's very little. I don't have anything to do today. You know, between just taking care of the house to the fire company and all that. You know, we have a poker run coming up. Actually, motorcycle run coming up August 6th at noon. Uh, that's a big event that we're gonna have. Hopefully, we're gonna have about 200 bikes there for that.
Sure.
You know,
What is a PXE.80?
it's a polisher, and no, I did not invest in that yet. It is on the to-do list. It's not first on the to-do list yet. But.
Okay. All right, that's fair. Obviously, you're not going to be doing this, but Hawaii Tim is, and he's graciously invited Papa Smurf to come on out to Hot August Nights. I thought it was at the end of August, but apparently it's like the beginning of August. So I just sent out about 2 cases worth of Titan minis to Hawaii Tim. Um, and they're going to be Phoenix ambassadors out, and I can't imagine being in Reno, Nevada in August. It just sounds hot.
It does. I feel like they nailed that name, Hot August Nights.
Hot August Nights. I was joking with. I was like Papa Smurf. I was like, hey man, why can't they just call it like Cool October Nights? It'd be so much better.
Yeah.
Cool October Nights. It's got a better ring to it, and it just. Hot August.
Even November, I think would be nice.
So we got family man, fireman, and a detailer, and then your lady is a bartender at the saloon that you're going to be hosting the show at.
Yes, yeah, she works in a crazy amount. I have to try and keep up with her sometimes. She's just nuts. She has shown me a level that I can operate at that I never knew was possible.
She is a fireball.
She is, I'm telling you, wild. Like, I don't know how she does it. And for as busy as I am, to say that, she blows me away. It's crazy.
She's a hustler. And then she's got the eye of the tiger, which is great.
Yes,
I think that you guys, as a team, are pretty amazing together.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
For sure. It's just that's just my 36,000 foot view, but there's a synergy that you guys have that really plays off well with each other.
Yeah, if I'm ever lacking, she is right there. She does so much for me. She does all the social media for Big Mike's. But aside from everything she's got going on, I don't know how she finds the time to do it.
Yeah,
but she does a great job.
What made you get into being a fireman?
I don't know. I said I have a thing for things that want to kill me. So. Motorcycles and running into burning buildings, that pretty much wraps it up.
Yeah,
it's fun. It is. It's definitely an adrenaline rush. It's it's a chance to give back to the community in a way that a lot of people don't want to. But it's a good time. I enjoy doing it.
I was a fireman back in early 90s when I had 93. I think I joined the fire department. We had to for the college that I went to. We had you had to do a community service oriented job as
cool.
a way to help pay for tuition. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll join the fire department.
Yeah.
That was nuts. It was a mountain rescue team. So we saw a lot of really crazy stuff, and we got to train and do a lot of really crazy stuff. Spelunking, mountain climbing, mountainside rescues, stuff like that. That is next level stuff.
The firehouse I run with, it's a lot of great guys. We all work. It's a tough house. Definitely an aggressive house. It's awesome.
So what is the name of
the American Hose in Tamaqua?
Tamaqua?
Correct.
And Tamaqua is in northeastern Pennsylvania.
It is.
Sounds like an Indian name.
It is. That's funny that you said that. It is. It is the Indian word for the land of running water.
It's what?
The land of running water.
The land of running water.
That's it.
Tamaqua. Hello, and how long have you been a fireman?
Off and on since 2016, I think.
Okay. So what's been the craziest event that you've been involved in as a fireman? Do you assist with any kind of EMS stuff?
No, not so much EMS stuff, just an interior firefighter. So I guess the whole running into a burning house is crazy enough. All right. That counts.
What else you got for me there, Big Mike?
You did some years as EMS though, so I'm sure you saw some stuff.
Oh yeah. There's quite a bit of imagery that I'd want to I'd love to download and get rid of in my brain. I think probably for me the hardest part was I think my nature is to be a pretty gregarious person. I'm pretty outgoing, and I'd like to think that I'm well, at least at one point, I'd like to think that I was pretty empathetic with people around me.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed that the longer that I stayed in emergency 911, the more it really ate away at my soul. And what I mean by that is I started finding it really hard to connect with other people on a sympathetic level. And we were joking earlier backstage about the dark humor that you share, and that you can you can make fun of everything. You should be allowed to make fun of everything, especially knowing how horrible things can be.
Yeah.
People that are suffering through really horrible life-changing events in their life. To be able to deal with that gravity on a regular basis, you need to be able to compartmentalize it and get it off. You know what I mean? I compartmentalize, I make a joke out of it, and if I make a joke out of it, then it's not really real.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how you get that almost like that callousness then starts to build. And I remember, I don't know, for a Sunday night at 7:20 in the afternoon, I don't necessarily know how deep and dark you want to get on this, but I do remember.
Well, you could definitely get pretty deep on this one.
Okay, so at the point of the story that really changed my trajectory of where I needed to be, we responded to an unconscious unresponsive at it was about 6:15 in the morning. We would always make that joke. Somebody forgot to wake up. Ha 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 ha. That's the running joke on an unconscious unresponsive at 0 dark 30. It's somebody forgot to wake up. And we arrived on the scene, and we come up to the door, knock on the door, and there was a Down syndrome man answered the door. So clearly somebody who has Down syndrome answered the door. My dad won't wake up, so we go back to the bedroom, and he's no longer with us. All of the signs are there: lines of lividity, fixed and dilated pupils. He had been gone for some time. Hey, Andrew from Australia has joined the house. So he's no longer with us. There's really nothing that anybody can do. So we come out of the bedroom, and the man is standing there and wants to know what's wrong with his dad. And it's just, I'm sorry that your father's no longer with us. Father's passed. And he breaks into a sob, and he gives me this huge bear hug, and he's crying. And I remember him say that can't be possible. We're supposed to go to Atlantic City today. We're going to go gambling, blah, 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 blah. And Superado, thanks for joining, buddy. I keep segueing because it's pretty heavy stuff. I'm trying to diffuse as much as possible. So he's grabbing me, and he's crying, and he's explaining why it's not possible. And I snap my fingers at the state trooper, and I'm like, let's get that. And the state trooper comes over, and he separates him off of me, and I grab the gear, and we walk out. And we go down to the ambulance, and we're loading everything back up into the ambulance, and this car comes screeching out in front of us. Woman gets out, and she's like, "What's wrong with my dad?" And I said, "Probably should go inside and talk to the state troopers about it." And so she goes running up the driveway and inside the house. And this is the part of the story that's absolutely horrible, other than the fact that what just happened to that family. But I'm watching her go, and I'm waiting, and the storm door closes. And I turn to my partner and I go, "Let's go get some pancakes. I am hungry." Oof. And we're at breakfast, and he's laughing about that. He's like, "Dude, that is some cold ass shit that just happened." And I was just like, and I had no idea that my soul had gotten that far calloused and gone.
I get that.
And that was at that point where I was like, I'm going to lose myself completely in this job if I don't get out. And I got off the street at that point and went to transport. I became a transport EMT, transport supervisor, and ended up just getting off the street because that was a real eye-opening moment. I don't know. I got out of being a fireman a long time ago, so I don't know if being a fireman, you have that kind of interaction like that.
I mean, yes and no. I would say there's always stuff that in the back of your head it's like that. But on the plus side, a lot of people stress over little stuff, and you kind of realize that the little stuff that's going on in your life really isn't that big of a problem when you see what other people are going through every day, all day. It kind of helps get through that stuff. You don't worry so much about the flat tire, and it sucks, but home now.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like that, I kind of just lost my train of thought, but I just completely lost my train of thought. So anywho,
out of that rabbit hole.
What's that?
Out of that rabbit hole.
Yeah, man. I tell you what.
Yeah.
Woo. So anyway, so let's talk about bikes. How long have you been riding a bike?
How long have I been riding? Oh,
Yeah.
Forever. Since I was knee high to a grasshopper.
Would you consider yourself to be a bike aficionado?
I could say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, if
Yeah.
somebody were to, tell you about this PXE 80, even though
Yeah.
they're talking about a flex polisher,
Yeah.
um, if somebody were to give you a very random named bike, you know what they're talking about?
Maybe not very random. I would say a good amount, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure there's some off the walls out there that I wouldn't know about.
How different is bike detailing to, say, car detailing?
I
Like,
was just going to say that, Rick's comment. I don't know that I would say harder. It's different. You have all the stuff that you'd have in a car in a much smaller frame.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know that I would say it's harder. I feel like I would want to do bikes more than I want to do cars. And I was having
but I mean, what about like
that's a nice bike.
What's that?
Tim said he had a '07 Softail Heritage Plastic. That's a nice bike.
What's a soft tail?
It's a Harley Davidson. It's just a model line.
Yeah, but what is it? What is a soft tail?
It's a motorcycle. What do you mean? What is it?
I mean, obviously, it has a name, Softail, for a reason. What is that? What is that reason?
I don't know. I don't know what technical.
Oh, okay. So, ask me
Next question.
Ask me any question about bikes.
No, I didn't say any question. No. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, Rick Smith. Exactly. It seems like it would be way more meticulous. There's so many more small parts that you have to pay attention to, whereas you get a nice fat car with big panels that you can just zip up and down with. Is the material the same? Let's start there. Is the material the same, or is it like RVs and boats that have gel coats and things of that nature?
So it's not a gel coat. A lot of clear coats are softer. Harley's clear coat is very soft. It's not very forgiving. So you really can't hammer away on it like as if you could with obviously a gel coat. You could put all the effort you want into it. You're probably not going to get where you want to be, but I don't know. It's hard. I would prefer to do bikes over cars, so I don't know that I would say it's harder. Like I have no interest in cleaning French fries off from underneath seats, goldfish, and like that. Just I don't want to do that. So you don't have that kind of a problem with bikes. There's no interior cleaning. I have no interest in doing that. You guys that do that, more power to you. That's not for me. I can't do that.
I know there's definitely a lot of guys in the industry, Apex being one of them, that doesn't want to do interiors and pretty much sources those out. Anytime it has to do like a really nasty interior, it's just like, I'm going to refer you to this guy down the street.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm like. No, I just don't. Nope. People come in. Oh, do you do cars? I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do your outside, but no, I'm not doing that.
The tail is soft, brah.
The tail is soft.
That's all you had to say. Oh, it's got a soft tail. Oh,
yeah,
okay. You got a soft tail. That's cool. I guess that's why it's called a soft tail. I am way more sore after doing motorcycles than a car.
I could see that. It's a lot lower, that's for sure. If you're bent over a lot more, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I can't do. After my accident, I don't have the knees to be able to be on the ground in any length period of time. I can't do it.
I kind of just get zoned into it. I don't, I mean, I notice it the next day for sure.
Yeah. How long does it normally take you to do a detail of a bike?
I could have at least 8 hours to do a full detail. Anywhere up to, it depends on how picky or meticulous somebody wants it, up to 15, 20 hours.
15 to 20 hours to detail a bike?
Yeah.
Oh, kill me.
I mean, you could really, I don't know. There's a lot of nooks and crannies. And I feel like that's the thing that, like I said before, and I'm not saying no car detailer can do a bike. That's not at all what I'm saying, but I feel like a lot of people that do cars and aren't interested in doing bikes miss the stuff that bike detailers or that bikers notice on their bikes. You know what I
That's
mean?
a good way to say it. Bikers notice on their bikes because
Exactly. Like when I look at
a whole lot of bike detailers out there.
and when I look at my bike after getting it detailed, and I'm sure there's a ton of bike or detailers, especially in this chat, that were doing a phenomenal job. But there's stuff that I noticed right away that maybe they missed, or it's just stuff that you wouldn't notice not being a biker. I think bikes are definitely more satisfying than cars to do. I don't know.
Yeah, you saw that too, right?
I did.
Yeah. Yep.
Papa Smurf has left the chat.
Unfortunately, he's a moderator, so I don't think I can ban him.
Oh, that's terrible.
Hey, make sure you guys are hitting that like button if you're finding this content enjoyable. And if you hate this content, hit it anyway because
we appreciate it, even if you hate it.
Exactly. At least a bike will completely fit under a pop-up tent. That's for sure.
That it does. And that's awesome. We have two, when we go to shows, we have two 10x10 tents.
Yeah, you have a really nice setup. I saw that in your pictures.
Yeah, coming from you.
Coming from what?
Your setup is gorgeous. I was like, oh, I need that. But ours works good. We get our table and chairs and everything under one, and we can do a bike under the other and have plenty of room to work around it.
I had no idea. Like Miller's detailing his comment. Yeah, I agree. I definitely have turned down bikes because it's not my thing, and I didn't want to miss something obvious.
Yeah.
I had no idea how deep down the rabbit hole this can go.
Oh, yes, we do detail Hondas for sure. If you bring them over,
that seems like your father, and B, that seems like an inside joke. So
it is.
You want to let us all in on the joke? Or
he is diehard Honda, this man. I love my Harleys, but I can't get him to switch to the dark side. He just won't give it up. He has a gorgeous Honda Valkyrie, though. It is absolutely gorgeous.
I always fantasized about an Indian. Isn't that what Fonzie drove, an Indian?
I don't know, that's before my time. I was like 4 when that show was on.
So you could turn it on right now on TV Land.
Yeah. It's like classic rock for TV.
Anyway, the point of the story is, why does Harley have to get get all the love? I mean, I know there's an
honestly,
right up here on US 1. They have some sexy looking bikes, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think Harley owes a lot of its success to the aftermarket market. If they weren't there, I don't know that Harley would be where it is today. They're good bikes. I mean, there's a lot of good bikes out there. You can't. Harleys are definitely not the best. They're a preference.
I just want you to know that they're all bitching about your mic. I told you that they were going to bitch about your mic. I knew they were.
It's actually
Harley just do it better. If you say so. I mean, if you say so. Oh, Keith Firebird, Fonzie, 1949 Triumph Trophy 500.
Triumph. Not an idiot. So even Fonzie knew that was a bad choice.
What?
To buy an idiot.
Explain what's the problem with the trophy? Triumph.
No, nothing with a Triumph with an idiot. I don't know, it's like Harley an idiot. Ask Mike about standing up to nickel. So, all right, I'll tell you this. If you take a nickel on edge and set it on the valve cover of a Honda, specifically the Valkyrie or Goldwing engine, you can start the bike and rev it, and the nickel will not fall on the side. The motors are that well balanced.
Really?
Yes. Wow. It is pretty awesome to see.
The only bike I ever thought was awesome is the one Steve McQueen rode in the Great Escape. That was pretty cool. Keith Fiber, what was the name of that motorcycle? I'd give him a bottle of Titan, but he wins all the Titans every time we do any kind of a contest.
It would absolutely not work out on a Harley.
Try that on your Harley.
Nope. Not a chance. That's
right. Tim from Shine Your Light Detailing has definitely become a Chronos champion for sure. I'm just going to say it because I have a microphone and you do not. Then maybe you shouldn't crash your motorcycle. How about that? How about that? Maybe you shouldn't crash, Papa.
That was harsh.
Yeah, well, I mean, live by the sword, die by the sword.
This is it.
He's going to start talking trash and throw down. He's going to get it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hawaii Tim just showed up. You're not late, Tim. You're right on time.
Yeah. We just got here.
You met him at the show at the SDC, I believe. I'm pretty sure you did.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, like in my mind, talking to him on the phone before I met him, I thought he was for whatever reason, I created in my mind the concept of him being a big guy. Like bigger than you and me. Kind of a big guy. Oh, there you go. He knew. Did you see that? Keith Firebird. He got it. Where did it go? Where did it go? Did I miss it? Anyway, Dina's in the house.
There it is.
1962 650cc Triumph from TR6R. So there's another Triumph. So Steve McQueen and Fonzie both rode a Triumph, and you're telling it it's trash.
I didn't say it was trash. I never said a Triumph was trash.
It kind of sounded like you were talking. You said it was trash. You said Fonzie was ashamed.
I said Fonzie knew it was a bad idea to buy an Indian. He knew it was a bad idea.
Oh, an Indian. Oh. Yeah, I totally messed that up. Yeah. Sorry.
See, it's not as funny when you have to explain the joke. It is when you fall. Yeah.
How is it so far? She wants to know how it is. How's the interview going so far?
I don't know. I think we're crashing and burning, but that's just me.
It's a dumpster fire. It's a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
that's fine. Only 6 people are going to watch the show anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. We're doing good. Everybody's still here. So it must be interesting.
What does it say? Just coded.
Yeah, so far they're quiet. Don't say their names out loud though.
Just coded a HD Ultra Classic Police Special Edition yesterday. Papa Cut Fabulous and Chronos. Bikes are a ton of work. I'll stick to 4 wheels. Dan, how long did it take? Mike sounds like he's
everybody's hating. We should have got on here and tried this like a day or 2 ago.
Oh, really? Should we have? Should we have?
I told you we should have done that
3 days ago, like we had talked about. Should we have done it then?
Probably. You're just like, I can't today.
I didn't say, dude. I was here until you were like, oh, I got called away to New Jersey. Yeah. Oh, I got this. I got that.
Busy. It's crazy. I was like, hey, do you want to do it now? You're like, no, I'm done with you for today.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Hey, I just got home. Are you up for doing a live stream test? I'm like, dude, all of my equipment's at the office. What are you talking about?
Well, go get it. Figure it out.
I was going to say,
that's about right.
Funny. It was a 1961 Triumph when the movie did take place during World War II. Huh. Look at this, huh? Have a drink of apple juice and learn something on a Sunday night. Who knew?
There you go. If anybody from Buc-ee's is here, I am taking sponsorships.
Buc-ee's.
Yes.
That was a fun trip.
We'll receive payment in the
I had heard the legend of Buc-ee's a few times, and I had never really gone in there. last year, my son and I did a tour of the South. We went to, we saw Phil, we saw Tim from Shiny Light, we saw Big Red, and then we kind of came through Georgia and Tennessee, and then up through Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and then back to New Jersey. And I drove by the Buc-ee's, and I just didn't think, I was like, wow, that is a crazy big store, and we kept on going. And then over the course of the following year, we heard all of these stories about Buc-ee's this and Buc-ee's that, and you got to check it out. And so we definitely, when we went down to Kentucky this year, and we came across to see Tim from Shiny Light in South Carolina, we stopped at the Buc-ee's, and it is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Wild.
Holy cow. I took a video of it. I haven't dumped any kind of photos. I should do a big photo dump on social media from our southern trip. But they have this beef jerky buffet bar.
Yeah,
where, I mean, it's literally, what would you say, 25 yards long?
At least
25 yards. It's 75 feet. That's a long of
it's
just 50 different flavors of beef jerky.
And they have all kinds of stuff. It's not just beef.
Right. And then in the center, then they had like brisket and pork, and they just and chicken and sandwiches and everything. And then on the other side of that, they're making candy, pecans, and they have everything. It is amazing. Like, I completely, wow, you got 2 or 3.
Yeah, when we were on our way to SDC, Buc-ee's was an hour out of the way, and he was like, we need to go. I was like, all right. I had never been. She had been previously, and it just blew my mind. Like, I couldn't imagine being like, oh, can I get 20 on pump 97? Like, what? They have, like, the amount of gas pumps they have is just unreal.
I'm gonna, you know what? This is the second time that Hawaii Tim has tried to hurt my feelings, and I don't know. I think he's dangerously close to be put in timeout. I mean, Dee Dee's not here, so there's room in the timeout box. So just say, keep it up, Hawaii Tim. See what happens. Anyway. So yeah, Buc-ee's. I feel I regret not taking Jacob when we went down there the first time.
Yeah,
because that is definitely something to behold. We had those Buc-ee nuggets. Now, I've been told that the Buc-ee nuggets are very similar to pirate booty, but I haven't found any pirate booty to be able to compare them to. But those Buc-ee nuggets were insanely delicious.
Yeah, they are addicting.
Looks like there's coming to Virginia. That's fantastic.
Right.
I mean, Phil's only like 3 hours ish away from me, depending on stupid DC traffic. When I went to see Phil, it was a 3-hour trip turned into a 7-hour trip just from sitting in traffic from Baltimore to Richmond. It was horrible. Beaver nuggets.
Beaver nuggets are definitely where it's at.
Yeah, they were amazing. We had, and they have like a million different flavors. I got the white cheddar because I like white cheddar, and that was really, really, really good. So,
pecans are just.
Yep, you can literally spend a paycheck in there just buying dumb, weird stuff. Yeah. Pepper jelly and a book on the Constitution, all in the same place.
And cups.
Dan, we have pirate booty here too, but apparently it's all been sold out. There's a supply chain issue going on right now. So, I mean, it'll show up eventually. They do have, I saw at the grocery store, they have these ginormous 18 packs. Like, I guess they're snack packs, 18 in a bag. And I passed on it because I don't need 18 bags of pirate booty. I don't know if anybody needs 18 bags of pirate booty. But I definitely want to do a comparison. A booty shortage. Oh, you know what, Dan? You would think there's a booty shortage, but if you go here, you can get all the booty you need. So just check out this phone number here, and you'll get all the booty that you need. Period. You know what time it is. Grease 2? Like, all of 6 people have seen that movie.
I didn't even know there was a second.
What's that? Yeah, I forget. They're the main star that plays the greaser. I forget what other shows he was in, but he apparently he's a Philadelphia favorite, and he was on the local morning radio show. Booty and beaver nuggets, like a hell of a party.
That's all I'm saying about that.
It's all going to be at the STC next year. Everybody going. We're going to have booty and beaver nuggets at the STC. Oh, that's funny. So speaking of getting in contact, if people want to get in contact with you, if they want to talk bike detailing, they want to attend your show, which is this Thursday, July 27th at 6 p.m. At the Riverwalck, spelled with a CK, Riverwalck Saloon. How do they get a hold of you?
Facebook, Instagram, that would absolutely be the best way to do it. There you go. Instagram, that'll work. We share everything across both platforms, so.
All right. And do you yeah, that's right. And do you monitor and maintain your social, or do you have?
I do, mostly Dina. She does a lot of it. But we both do.
Okay.
She definitely does more than me. I always forget to message people back. I'm terrible with it.
Yeah, social media is definitely a full-time job.
Absolutely.
100%. Oh my gosh. We've been doing a lot more of these live streams, which makes it easier for me to get content. But as far as, like you said, responding to everybody, a lot of times, like, I won't be able to check it until like late at night after I've gotten home from work and I've had something to eat, and then I've had some apple juice, and then I'll see somebody had texted me, and it's kind of like, well, it's after 11:30 at night. I probably shouldn't respond. I'll respond to them in the morning, and then by morning,
gone.
Yeah. And so I make it a point to constantly go back through my phone every day to just make sure that I didn't see something and then forget. And the worst part about it is that it kind of, especially Facebook Messenger, you can see if somebody's read your comment because your little face is down there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so then you look like an even bigger jerk. Oh, he read my comment and didn't respond to me. And it's like, oh my gosh.
Everybody thinks like you're ignoring them.
I just needed, I needed 12 hours to refocus and come up with an answer for you.
Yeah, I get that. It is tough.
One of the, I get a lot of questions about the products and things of that nature. And, what's fabulous about this community is that they're always trying to wow, there's something happening outside.
Is it going down?
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. It's some really crazy music. I don't know where it's going. Oh, I see. It's over in front of Bassett. Anyway, like for example, putting Titan in a foam cannon. Hey, what's the dilution ratio for putting Titan in a foam cannon? And you're like,
yes,
we don't recommend putting Titan in a foam cannon, so I couldn't tell you that question. But then I also feel like I should have the answer for that. Like, I don't have an answer for it, and then I'll end up calling Brian and a bunch of other people and be like, hey, if you were to put, Titan in a foam cannon, what would you do that with, and why would you do that? And the answer is don't do it. It could clog. It could, it'll mess up your machine. Given SiO2, Mark, by the way, SiO2 by its nature is an anti-foamer, so chances are no. But at the same time, when I'm filling bottles, it foams up in the bottle. So I'm wondering, it theoretically it should foam. It could foam.
I'm
It
gonna
does.
try it.
Oh man.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Nash is in the house. Good to have you here, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you.
That could be a big break.
It always feels like somebody's watching me, for sure. I'll let Jamie know. Yeah, you know what? Go ahead. You go ahead and let Foam Town USA know if Titan foams. But, there are some things in this universe that just aren't supposed to foam. Just not.
Everything should foam. Foam it all. The hardest bike that I have done. I don't know that they're. That's a weird. That's a tough question. The hardest bike. So I would say the hardest thing for me is doing a quick wash. When somebody says I want a quick wash, because I feel like I have very OCD tendencies, and to just do something quickly, that I don't know. Where do you stop? That's how I feel. Everybody wants to know how much for a quick wash. You tell me what you don't want me to do. And we'll go from there.
Well, I know that we've talked about that a lot on this show, especially when it comes to pricing and things of that nature. And I think that Phil Miranda is easily my go-to when it comes to that question. And basically, his stance has been and always has been communication. When he was first showcasing Gloss and Wax, he did a video on Gloss and Wax and was showing all the fun stuff that Gloss and Wax can do. He got to a point where it was like, the professional in me wants to go after this, this, and this, and this, and this, but I can't because that customer's not paying for it, and so my pride says you need to do that, but my professionalism says I've already discussed this with the customer. I even pointed those areas out to the customer. The customer says, "Don't worry about it. I don't want it." So therefore, I'm not going to do that work because I'm not getting paid to do that work.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that only you can value yourself.
Yeah. And that's hard too, because, when any of us touch a car or a bike or anything, you're putting your name on it. You're putting your business's name on that service. No, we didn't talk about that yet. Anyway, we'll get.
Yeah, it's true, but that's where the communication comes in. You have to be able to communicate with your customer. Hey, you say you wanted a quick wash. Just so you know, X, Y, and Z is not included in a quick wash. Yeah. Like, I think personally, your vehicle or your bike needs this, this, and this. But if you just want me to wash it, it's whatever you value your hourly rate to be. I think.
I get that. I get that, but it's like. So, for instance, yesterday we were at a bike night, and I was washing a guy's bike, and we charged significantly less for our quote unquote quick washes as we do for an in-house full detail, and he was over the top happy with the work that we did, but the whole time I'm just like, man, I could make this look a lot, like this could look a lot nicer, and he's like, oh, it looks amazing. I'm like, does it though? Like, I didn't think it looked good, personally, and it was what he wanted and what he paid for, but it just, it's hard to let it roll out the door, and in your eyes, it's not done,
Right.
We all set ourselves at a standard to perform where we want to be, and to let a quick wash go out the door, it's, that's not the best work you could do. You know that's not done in your eyes, but at the end of the day,
Um,
if we do rinseless wash or foam,
yeah, Rick asked the question: Do you
yeah,
do
you
do
did.
you foam a bike or do you do rinseless?
90% of the time I foam a bike. If I'm at home, I'll foam a bike. If we're out, I don't take my pressure washer when we go to uh, bike nights and stuff like that. So we don't do rinseless there either. But
Well,
I
if I could
definitely
be so
prefer the foam.
forward, if I could be forward with you, and maybe a little confrontational,
Absolutely.
it
Bring it on.
sounds like you're setting yourself up to be in conflict with yourself.
Absolutely. I
You know
have
what
my
I mean?
own words.
Like you're
Absolutely.
definitely setting
Yeah.
yourself up to be in conflict within yourself. And the reason why I say that is like just the very premise of offering a quick wash kind of says it all right there. Like
Yeah.
it's just a quick wash, man. Like
Yeah.
like, your reputation really can't be on the line that much if you're just doing a quick wash. I know we live in a day and age where you live and die by comments and stars, and social rankings and things of that nature. But I think there still has to be a level of understanding. There has to be a level of like again going back to that whole communication with your customer that says it's a quick wash, man. I don't
Yeah.
know what you're expecting out of a quick wash. And then
Yeah.
for your brain to go, it's quick wash.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I'm expecting out of a quick wash. Right.
Yep. Yeah, I get that. And I don't, not that we ever. I mean, I've never. I don't want to say never, but I've never had an unhappy customer at a quick wash. But it's just that's a tough one on yourself when you want to be the best. It's hard to put out work that's not as good as you can do, not the best that you can do, and you know it is what it is. It's tough.
Wow. How do you get around that? I
For
always
instance,
do.
we're gonna talk about that later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk. Yeah, we're gonna side note with him on that.
Who you and Tim are going to talk about
Oh
this
yeah,
later?
for sure. That's gonna be a conversation later. That's crazy. I don't know. I could. To me, like I've put scratches in the Harleys with microfibers alone. That just scares me. I've never took a hose to a motorcycle.
Detailing, appreciate you.
Not a
Appreciate the
problem, Miller.
support.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
it, and I appreciate you being here.
He's been riding with me from the beginning. He's a
Yeah.
phenomenal fellow. So I appreciate you coming out. I know it's tough to fit us in on a Sunday night, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Most people got to work in the morning. So anyway, um, I would love to sit in on that conversation between the two of you because it's an area that I know nothing about, which was one of the big reasons why I wanted you to come on the show. Also to be able to plug your show coming up on the 27th. And again, going after this niche market is really fascinating, and you have such an advantage of going after this niche market because you're kind of already a part of that niche market. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're a biker doing details for other bikers, which I think really gives you that huge advantage again to a lot of guys out there that like he said, I won't even do a bike because there's so much about bikes that I don't know anything about.
Yeah.
And now I have you talking about your um, process, and now I got Tim talking about his process, and there's a conversation that you guys want to have with each other that I want to be a
Yeah.
part of that conversation.
Yeah. We might have to set that up. We'll have to go live for that one. But and like you said, there's a lot of bikes in the tri-state area between PA, New York, New Jersey. It's really almost an oversaturated market, But guys are very particular with their bikes. There's a lot of people that don't want somebody, you know. The old unwritten rule is you don't touch another man's motorcycle,
Right.
So a lot of guys it's hard to get people in the door, And, we don't live in the most wealthy area. There's not a lot of people here. It's a struggle to bring business in at a price point where we feel like our work is valued.
So how do you do it? If you don't mind me asking, how do you do it?
Reputation and the people that support us know the work that we do. And we try to. I've had people leave Harley dealers and bring their bikes right to us. 'Cause, we can. Oh, well, that makes a big difference. That um, your reputation is everything. If people know that you're going to put out a good product, and being a new business, it's hard because there's not a ton of people that know who we are and what we do. We're not just somebody that's out washing motorcycles. You know what I mean? When you
Sure.
get your bike back, it's gonna. I've had a lot of wow. I can't believe it looks like that.
So that's going to be a really fine line that you have to walk. I mean, if it's about reputation, it's about, and so doing that quick wash that we just talked about, you're not really giving them the best that you possibly can, but at the same time, you're trying to build that reputation.
Exactly.
So you want to put an even better foot forward than what you normally would do. I find, as being a new kid on the block in the chemical world, I 100% can understand what you're saying. Is that
Yeah.
it's I would rather eat the bullet and look good doing it than to like have some sort of standard high ground that I'm just not going to bend on.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of there's a lot of interactions where you just have to fall on the sword and be like, you know what, it's on me. I'll take care of it. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah. Smurf's a big one. You and I have talked about him and the way he is. It's hard not to over deliver. Because you want, like I said, we want to put our name out that I am the best. I want to be the best motorcycle dealer or detailer in the area, and to put out a quick wash that's not the best that I can do. I'm not going to achieve that name.
Right. Yeah, I guess, I mean, as a fledgling business, that's kind of the crow you have to eat.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to basically over deliver every time
Yep.
to build that reputation up. And hopefully it's well, hopefully one, it pays off, obviously. You want it to pay off, but two, at the same time, like I don't necessarily know if um I don't think it's fake. You know what I mean? I don't think it's fake. I don't think like I believe in my heart and just knowing who I am, and the type of business that I want to run. And as long as I'm in charge of this business, and what I mean by that is you never know what comes down the line. So, the board of shareholders moves you out or whatnot. I mean, you look at what happened to Adams. Adams is just Adams in the name alone. It's owned by some other company now. They got bought out.
Yeah.
But again, so as long as I'm in charge, there's a standard that I'm going to hold, and that falling on the sword and making things right is something that I'm always going to do. I'm always going to try to over deliver for my customers. Perfect example of this. We were doing. I don't know if you know this, but we just got approved for Amazon Prime Titan gallons. We just got it's
awesome.
so fantastic that we are now Amazon Prime Titan gallons are now available. But when I was talking with my marketing guy, and we were packaging everything up, and we basically do dimensions on the boxes that we ship to Amazon. He was just like, all right, so give me give me a case of gallons with the prices, the dimensions are, and it's shipped in a 13 by 13 by 13 box. And then I gave him the weight, and he goes, that weight seems pretty high. Are you sure about that? What is the weight of one bottle? So I gave him the weight of the one bottle, and he was just like, "You know, you're overfilling those, right?" And I said, "Yeah, I know that I'm overfilling it. Like, you know, it is what it is. I do it on purpose. Like if you look at the gallon, a true gallon is at the little ridge line lip, and then I fill it up to where the handle starts, and it's not much, but it's like, you know, it's an eighth of an inch more than a
Yeah.
gallon. But in my mind, I'd rather have it be too much than too little, or you know what I mean. And also my OCD doesn't allow me to stop at that line. It needs to stop at this line. My OCD
Yeah.
says you have to fill it to this line, or else your brain's going to snap. And I'm just like, all right. So he's like, well, if that's what you want to do, it's your business, it's your company. You can do whatever you want, but you're losing you're losing like 8 ounces on a gallon. And I was like, well, I don't care. I'm going to lose 8 ounces on a gallon. I got to keep this family friendly. But yeah, I don't care. I'll do it.
Do we have to though?
So, no, I get it. So I understand that, under promising but over delivering is really a good place to be at.
Yeah.
Titan Tim, did you miss something? I guess after seeing some of Titan Tim's work, I don't think you get those kind of cars without his reputation.
Absolutely.
Titan Tim worked on Carroll Shelby Jr.'s car. That Shelby GT. I have pictures of it. It's on my Instagram. I'm sure it's on Titan Tim's Instagram. Yeah, he has a reputation, and it is because he does immaculate work. Everything that he touches is the minus touch. And the crazy thing about this guy is that he is 100% mobile. So a lot of the work that he's doing is in blistering direct heat and sun, in the humidity factor of 1,000,000,000 in southern South Carolina. The guy does incredible work under the most insane conditions, and he still knocks it out of the park every single time. And for me, it's really hard to interact with other customers that are having problems. Oh, I had this happen, I had that happen, or this happened, that happened, and I'm like, this guy over here, he did it in direct sunlight. What do you, like?
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm just saying, like, maybe it's not the product's fault. Maybe it's not the product's fault. I'm just saying, but okay, yeah. Sorry that happened to you. I don't know what you want me to do about it. Anyway, so yes, you do have a shop too, but in the beginning, when we were talking last year, you were pretty much 100% mobile. But yeah, he does have a shop, and it looks good. Anyway, greetings. Any trick to apply Titan? Spray and wipe. Apply with a foam or microfiber pad in a crisscross pattern and circular movements. With Titan, it's super easy. You just spray and wipe and do whatever you want with it. You can use it. I know people that use it as glass cleaners. I know people that use it, on their tires or whatever. No, the hybrid nature of the Titan allows it to just be really universally applied. You can use it as a drying aid. The
looks
cars.
great on chrome.
Yeah,
sure.
It looks fantastic on chrome. So
I
don't think there's any tricks that you need to apply with Titan. Like, go nuts.
Nope.
I mean, even a village idiot can do it. So, Rick wants to know what Tim's formula for cracking the periods is. I don't know if we can answer that question. Maybe I want to keep it as a trade secret and then bottle it myself, and that'll be the next product that comes out. But no, from what Tim told me is it is Kraken mixed 3-to-1. So you have a solution already made, a pre-made solution of Kraken 3-to-1. And then you mix that 1-to-1 with Furies. So it's a 3-to-1 solution mixed 50-50 with the Furies. If that and apparently it is one of the greatest matte tire and rubber cleaners of all time. So
Give that a try for sure.
yeah, it's good stuff. All right, so it looks like we're approaching an hour and 15 minutes. Do you have any other questions for Big Mike right out of the gate? Anything in particular that you'd like to ask him that we haven't already addressed? Or anything else you want to talk about?
I'm an open book. Whenever you want to talk about
What was the first bike that you owned?
dirt bike or street bike?
Whatever.
See, it goes back. I would say, I can't remember what year it was. I think it was like a 1993 CR 125. It was like 10.
How old were you?
10.
You were 10 years old, and that's a dirt
Right,
bike.
a dirt bike? Yep.
Okay.
Appreciate it, man.
And then
a lot of bike nights are Thursday nights in our area. I'm not sure why. We kind of went with that. There's a lot that are Thursday nights here. I don't know if it has something to do with the whole Thirsty Thursday thing. But
I mean, your bike show is at a saloon, so I mean, maybe.
Yeah, we will have drink specials, so it'll be a good time.
Yeah, the car show that I just did was on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
And I think it's for that same reason. It's held at a bar, Bourbon and Brews in Paulsboro, New Jersey. Huge parking lot, so lots of cars, 60 to 70. I think sometimes they even get into the 80s as far as cars that are there. And Thursday night does work out really, really well for them, which is odd. I remember, when I was a much younger lad, my Thursday nights were spent Thirsty Thursdays for sure. Going to the clubs and the bars and stuff like that on the Thursday.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's something. I don't know. Maybe people aren't so busy on a Thursday night. They're finding. I don't know. What was the most expensive bike you have done? I currently have a CVO Road King with with quite a bit of money into it. I would, I don't know, if I had to put a number on it, I'd say it's probably in the $50,000 to $55,000 range. That would definitely be the most expensive. It's a gorgeous bike. Just be very nervous. What are you having with your avocado tonight, Smurf?
The guy was just like on vacation with his family for 1,000 days, Tahoe and whooping it up and whatever. And now, he's been back for all of 2 hours, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta go hang out with the family."
Do family stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Tight. Hawaii Tim's coming to dinner, Smurf.
It's because his dad's not here. That's why.
So I got a comment that was DM'd to me, and it was basically, it says we have that common issue. We try to advise the customer what we think to be the most effective, but they won't listen. They won't always listen. We have to just remind ourselves that it's not our call. We do what the customer wants, and I think that also. You have to take that into play as far as a customer is automatically going to think that you're trying to upsell them. And I think that we as consumers have been conditioned for that. It's kind of like, oh, you're just trying to get me to add on that extra package and so on and so. And and I mean, it happened for me when I went down to Motor Trend. They wanted to, if you do this, you can do this, and if you pay this, you can do that, and if you pay this, you can do that, and it's kind of like you kind of feel like, well, where is that fine line of value versus just stupid add-ons that you don't really need?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Oh, both of us. What's our favorite bike movie? I gotta try. I'm trying to finish my train of thought before I answer Rick's question. But anyway, yeah. So I think it's a fine line between, how do you talk your customer through this is not an upsell. I think this is better for you. And I know for a fact that like we'd have at the old company. Um, it would be like, hey, I'm a new detailer. What do I need to get started? And you have the used car salesman mentality where it's like, oh, you need this, and and you lay out $1,000 worth of things that you need versus, what I think you're just starting out, you can get by with this, and this.
Mhm.
And then once you start making some money, then you should invest in this, and this. And I think that, Papa Smurf really helped me through that when I was transitioning into Phoenix. And it was kind of like, I need some equipment so that I know what I'm talking about. I need to learn how to use, a DA. I need to learn how to use, the different machines that a normal detailer would use,
Yeah.
and do, which foam cannon should I purchase? What, I asked him 1,000 questions about, what's the best this and what's the best that. And, because we're in a protected little community, he's going to give me the best advice that he knows. He's not going to try to upsell me on something stupid and big. Um, so, I think that we have to be conscientious of that. And again,
Yeah.
communication with your customer is everything. Everything. Listen, I know you said you wanted this. I honestly believe, and these are the reasons why I believe this could be a better option for you. I'm not trying to upsell you.
Yeah.
Entirely up to you. And then that's when you also need to back off and not be that pushy salesman. As far as my favorite bike movie,
Yeah.
holy cow!
I would have to say that there was a movie that was called Torque with Ice Cube. I thought that would have to be my favorite bike movie.
Do you remember
Really hard.
Rad? Do you remember Rad? Oh my gosh, I remember it was. I think it's a BMX bike movie, by the way. But
I don't know.
I went to school with the kid that was featured in that, and
Really?
I think his name was Brad. And I mean, that was like I remember because we were living in Southern California at the time, and I remember when he came into school and he said he got the part for basically racing his bike because he was a BMX racer and he got the part. So. Um, Best. I can see it, but I can't think of the name. Best bike movie, and I love movies. I am a movie. I am what is it? Uh,
Aficionado.
no, well, not aficionado, but it is a file. What is it? I believe it's celluloid file or something like that. Biker Boys.
There you go.
I mean, really, honestly, right now, the only thing that really is coming to my mind is The Great Escape, and then there's also the RoboCop remake. Didn't he have a bike instead of a car in the
I never
RoboCop?
saw that. That would be wild.
Um,
Easy Rider. That was a good movie.
yeah, that was a good movie. Should touch
Easy
about
Rider.
that.
Pronounce my last name Chickilly.
What kind of name is Chickilly? Chickilly?
It is a butchered Italian last name. It used to
Yeah.
be Chickilly before we came through Ellis Island.
And I saw senior earlier, so does that make
Yes.
you a junior?
That makes me the second.
Isn't
Not a
that, isn't
junior.
that,
The
isn't that
second.
junior?
It's no, the second. It's different.
How's
It's
it
the
different?
same but different. It's the same.
You're going to have to walk me through this one.
You know, like you never heard of the second? Somebody being the second instead of junior?
Yeah, I mean, if you were royalty, maybe.
Well, there you go.
King George
Now you-
II of his
now you-
name.
Now you know.
Oh, sorry, Your Majesty.
I didn't want to toot my own horn. That's what it was.
You know what? My favorite motorcycle movie is Mad Max. Huh? How about that?
I don't know.
Mad
That's a
Max, the original.
That's a
That biker gang, and the dude gets just pancaked by the semi truck, and you get the camera zooms in on his eyeballs just before he hits, and they're all bloodshot. That's quality. Yeah, I remember that. I remember watching that. Back in the day when TV was cool and you didn't have 80,000 channels, but you had 3, and they were doing the it was movies for tough guys weekend marathon, and they were playing the trailer for Mad Max, and the song that they selected was "Born to Be Wild" by Steppenwolf, and they were showing all the cool montage of Mad Max to Steppenwolf, "Born to Be Wild." Fantastic. Toe cutter. That's right. Exactly. That's exactly right. Toe cutter. He gets it. Rick gets it. Rick and I are on the same wavelength, for sure. Yeah, you had to get up and change the channel. That's right. Exactly. The dial up.
Sons of Anarchy, the movie. Yeah.
So good.
That's pretty much Kyle's life.
The ending to the original Mad Max sucks so bad. I don't know if we can be friends, man. Are you kidding me? The way when he drops down the hacksaw on what was the kid's name? It was like Crazy Boy or something. I forget exactly what it was. I forget. But anyway, he was just like, it's high tensile steel. You can cut through it in 5 minutes. You can cut through your ankle in 3. And then he walks away. Are you kidding me? Like, how is that not just, you're nuts. You're nuts if you think that's not one of the greatest endings of all time. He is just, whatever. I don't think, Kyle, I don't believe that I have seen Sons of Anarchy, the movie.
That's his
My dad had a remote, me. Exactly. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Superado, you hurt my feelings. My dad is a third. See, Tracy, you can get away with being the third, right? You can get away with being a third, but you can't.
Somebody has to be the second.
What?
Somebody has to be the second.
Yeah, Junior, it's you. You're the
second.
Oh,
look at my wallet on here. I'll show you.
Sorry.
It's the second.
Your Highness, I apologize.
I'll allow it once. Don't do it again.
All right, so let's shifting gears yet again, since we're just killing time and talking about whatever we want to talk about. I gathered that you are somewhat of a foodie from the last couple of times that we've gotten together.
Oh, now we're just making fat jokes.
What?
Now we're just making fat jokes.
No. It was more of a melt joke than anything.
Oh man, you can't mess with a good patty melt.
Is this your mom, Wayne?
That's my mother. She's a beautiful woman.
Okay,
yes.
She doesn't.
And that's my father in her picture. That's
doesn't. Yeah, senior.
Yes.
Means junior, or else he'd be the first. Or else he'd be the first.
Now she told you once.
No.
Now you're in hot water. You should see her with a wooden spoon.
Well, hopefully that'll never happen unless she shows up on Thursday. But all I'm saying is that if
she will be there Thursday.
Your Honor, my defendant, if it were to hold water, he would have to have his dad's name be the first. Your dad would have to be the first, and therefore you could be the second. But because he, who is priority to you, says that he's a senior, that makes you a junior. The end. Sorry, you're gonna have to take it up with your dad at this
Kiss the ring. Yeah.
Your mom probably is gonna beat me. She is.
You wait.
No junior. Yeah. See,
junior. Now you did it.
No junior. So there's a comma right there. No junior.
Just read the next comment. You're done. I'm not even going to be there. I'm not going to my own bike night because you're going to go.
What would you say is your favorite food or food class or genre?
Tacos, for sure.
Tacos, Mexican. Got it.
Hands down.
Say that again. Priority. Look,
Priority.
see that?
See?
I'm on Team Dad.
You are. That might be your only saving grace. If he gives you a pardon, then you're good.
See?
See?
Right. Super Auto, that is exactly how it's supposed to be done. 100%.
Or LA. Modelo time.
Yellow time food.
It is Modelo time.
I would say that I am definitely a red meat person, and doesn't really matter what form it's at. Oh,
That means a lot. There you go. Now you're in.
But I think like it's hard. I don't know if I could do I don't know if I could do steak every single day. I don't know if I could.
I could absolutely eat tacos every day, without a doubt.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
probably. I could probably do that. Chinese is right up there as far as even like a
It's
lunch.
good. Yeah, but I feel like Chinese could be bad.
Yeah, there's.
Like, I don't know that I've ever had tacos and be like, I'm not eating the other one.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've not finished Chinese food.
Yeah, that's also true. You're right. You're right.
I don't know.
Papa is chippy because Mike's beard is better. Oh wow.
Ooh. I don't know.
Oh man, Rick, you just
I
threw
don't
out a comment.
know
I don't even know if the man is still here in the room. Hold on a second. I don't know if he's in the room to defend himself, but man, he just threw down the gauntlet. I'm calling him. Wow. I was married to an Asian woman, so I make Asian food the authentic way. You didn't even offer that when we came down there.
Yeah. That's rude. Pizza every day is nothing different than pizza.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That was what? What was
what? What did you say? What did you say? I think you did something to upset your day.
I think it was you. I've been good.
No.
You told him that he named me wrong.
No, not at all. I said that he was a priority. He was the priority.
I should be junior.
That's right. I kind of feel like maybe your mom had more of a gray beard of wisdom. Yep.
Salt and pepper. The guy that used to work.
Eric didn't answer his phone. Bum, bum, bum. Did I find anything good to eat when I was in Bristol? Let's see here. I didn't have a whole lot of time in Bristol. I feel like I wasted a few meals because I went to college in the South, and my dad was a Marine, and we spent a lot of time in the South. So I've always kind of felt like a Southern boy at heart. And there were a lot of things, there are a lot of staples of the South that I wanted to expose my wife to that she had never experienced, like a Bojangles, that kind of stuff. So I kind of feel like I wasted a few opportunities to really find some crazy Southern food. But for breakfast, one of those mornings we had Brian Spittler. He had come down to be my consultant. My consultant, he was there to kind of help me because obviously Brian has done a lot of work behind the camera. He puts out great content on his YouTube channel. He knows his way around the camera, and he's very familiar with the Phoenix products. So I invited him to come down with me to Bristol. So we had breakfast at this one place. I could try to find it real fast. I don't know if I'll be successful in the amount of time we have here. But it's a breakfast nook, and it has all of these nostalgic everything and anything nostalgic from the early Americana around the 40s and 50s is basically painted on the walls. I mean, they got painting of Popeye the Sailor and a bunch of other stuff just all over it. There he is. Hey, Papa, guess what? Apparently, Big Mike has a better beard than you.
That's
Yeah.
arguable. I didn't say that.
I didn't say it. Somebody else in the chat room said it, but I was just like, wow, he's not even here to defend himself. I mean, is there? And then I remembered that you cut your beard, and so I'm thinking, well, maybe there's some validity to what he had to say since Papa cut it. I don't know.
Well, I see what you did there. That was slick.
You like that?
Well played, sir.
Yeah, it's growing back. The beard's coming. I didn't know. It was first of all, it wasn't Mike that said it. It wasn't Mike that said it, but I'm just saying, like, it was thrown out there. Rick Smith. Yeah. All right. So, by the way, yeah, it's called the Old Lighthouse Diner. That's where we went. The Old Lighthouse Diner, and it was really, really delicious. Anyway, somebody asked me a question: did I find anything good to eat while I was in Bristol? And we had breakfast with Brian Spittler at the Old Lighthouse Diner. Anyway, I just thought that I'd call and let you know that you've been knocked out of the #1 position for beards. Since it's not my fault. It's not my fault. Yeah, exactly. It's just like Samson. He got his hair cut. Now he's a big P. What? All right. All right. All right. Well, hurry it up. All right. I gotta go. I have a show to do. I gotta go. Yeah, goodbye.
He has to make everything about him.
What?
He has to make everything about him.
I know, right? I'm surprised he didn't ask to, invite him. Hey, yeah. Invite me to the chat.
Can't all three of us do it?
And then we did. Going back to this question. And then we did. I like burgers. I always like checking out burger joints, places that I'm being told. Another one of Hawaii Tim, he sent us on a quest to get these fantastic burgers in Louisville, and they were terrible. They were not good at all.
Is a patty melt a burger?
What's that?
I said, is a patty melt a burger? Does it qualify?
It's a very interesting question, and the answer is no. And I'll tell you why. They're very so we have these again, the morning radio here in Philadelphia. They're always talking about different stuff, and they're obviously Philadelphia. They talk about cheesesteaks all the time, and who has the best cheesesteak, and what constitutes a cheesesteak, and so on and so forth. And when it comes to food, I think I'm pretty black and white down the line, and it's all about the preparation. And when you have a patty melt, the difference is the bun, right? So a burger has a bun, a patty melt has grilled or toasted toast.
Yeah.
Toasted bread, grilled bread or toasted bread. That's the biggest difference between a burger and a patty melt is how it's prepared. And if it's set on a bun, then it's a burger. If it's set on grilled or toasted bread, then it's a patty melt. And even if you are to reverse the bun inside out, I know like the big smash burgers, they take they take the bun and they flip it around so that the uncrusty side gets grilled. I believe that you've now made it into a patty melt just by transitioning the side the way that the bread is prepared, because you don't traditionally grill a bun except for when you're grilling the bun and it's on the inside against the meat and everything else, right? That's the biggest difference.
I think I have to disagree. I said I think I have to disagree on this one.
Well, give me your convince me.
Oh, okay. So how about when you put it? What about when they put a burger on a donut? Did you ever see that?
I have seen that.
That's
I don't
not a
know
bun,
if I've ever
but it's
had
still-
one of those.
I've never had one, but I've seen it. But that's not a bun. That's a donut, and it's still a burger. Exactly.
But you know what? But however, you could hold on before you get all cocky about it. You could argue that the crusty side of the donut is still out.
Applebee's has the burger that is on a tortilla.
Huh?
Applebee's has the burger that's on a tortilla, not a bun. It's still a burger.
I'm going to have to argue that. It's more like a quesadilla, burger quesadilla.
It's a quesadilla burger.
Well, then
But
it's
still
not
a burger. But it's still a burger. I don't know.
It's a quesadilla. You just said so. You just said it was a quesadilla burger. It's a quesadilla.
That's what they call it.
With burger meat on the inside.
Yeah. That's
It's a
what they call
quesadilla.
it.
It's not a burger. It's a quesadilla. The name is in the name. What are you talking about? You just defeated your own. You defeated your own argument. Ha ha. Patty melt with bacon at Fridays is the schnizzle, especially with a side of their spicy fry sauce. I'm gonna try that. See, boom, Silverado, you're back. You're back in my good graces. Boom, that's a quesadilla or quesadilla. That's a quesadilla.
I'm Googling it.
There's something about Mexican words that I just love mispronouncing.
It's a burger, a sandwich.
Quesadillas, fajitas, jalapenos, you name it. I love to mispronounce those words. I don't know why. But of course, it doesn't have to be Mexican food. I like to call them scrimpses when it comes to shrimp.
Scrimps?
Yeah. That's like saying hamburger helper is lasagna, brah.
That's not even close. I feel like we're talking about things that are close. Why is a hamburger not made of ham? It should be called a beef burger. That's a valid argument.
Or a steak burger. You call it steak.
I would agree.
I don't know. I bet you Google has the answer to that.
That's what I was looking for, but nothing definitive.
Nothing definitive?
No. I'll get back to you at like 3:30 this morning. I'll give you a call. I have a video on it. It's pronounced steak, not stick.
Steak. All right, so here we go. We're coming up on 1 hour 40 minutes. You have a show this Thursday
night.
You want to give me the deets on that? Or you want me to do it?
Either way, I can do it. At the Riverwalck Saloon in Parryville, Pennsylvania, from 6 to 10. I'll be there. You'll be there. The live music, drink specials.
I don't know, Junior. After tonight, Junior. I don't know.
I'll come get you. I'll come pick you up.
I'm going to make it.
I'll come pick you up from the warehouse.
Your Highness.
You'd be lucky if you could get through the velvet rope.
Yeah, so 6 to 10, Parryville, 8th Center Street. I don't know if anybody in the chat room is currently anywhere near northeastern PA, but it's a good time. Apparently, the Two Taboo, band will be playing there, live music.
Yeah, we have live music, drink specials, good food, good times. It's an awesome venue. It's really a one of a kind bar. It's more outside than inside. It's really neat.
That's the only reason why I'm going is for the food.
I'm
gonna get myself a nice patty melt.
I don't know if they have. Oh, they're gonna on the menu for me.
I'm just gonna take the burger buns and flip them inside out, and it'll be.
There you go. That's what you're gonna do. Yes.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? That's
without a doubt. Yes.
I
say yes.
Yeah, you think so?
Absolutely, it's a bread.
Is it bread or is it a bun? It's a
bread.
roll. Technically, it's a roll.
But you're saying a hoagie's not a sandwich.
All right, yeah, you convinced me. All right, yeah.
Hot dog is a sandwich.
Hot dog is a sandwich. Hoagie is a sandwich.
I'll one up you though. Is water wet?
Huh?
Is water wet?
Is water wet?
Yeah.
I mean, only if it's Fiji water.
Untouched by human hands. Water makes you wet. It has validity. It does. Think about it. Water makes you wet, but is it wet?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
What?
Think about it.
How many of these have you had, friend?
Too many.
How many Dillas are in a case of Dilla?
Yeah.
Oh boy, we have definitely gone off the rails.
We
Oh
are. This has nothing to do with what
Curmudgeon's Quarter 12.
Yeah.
You talked about detailing all of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And everything.
How long can we make this last? Absolutely.
Do you eat scrapple? I absolutely eat scrapple. However, this is the difference. What you have to do is you have to cut it real thin, fry it real crisp, and use a little bit of ketchup, and it is delicious. And anybody that says otherwise, I'll fight you. I'll fight you right now.
No, I've never had ketchup on scrapple. Mustard, yes.
Mustard with your scrapple?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, liver mush I thought was liverwurst, and that's something entirely different.
Yeah, or liver pudding, which is even more different.
But that sounds absolutely horrible.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's not what you think.
It sounds
it's more along the lines of scrapple.
It sounds ghastly.
It's not a pudding. Google it.
Yeah, see? Exactly.
Yeah. I've tried liver pudding.
Corrado and I think we grew up together.
Anyway.
Liver pudding sounds absolutely gross.
It's not a pudding. It's not like room for Jello. It's not like that.
All right. Listen, I'm not opposed. I am not opposed to trying everything once. I'll do it. Honestly, when it comes to food, I am extremely adventurous. One time, unless it's delicious.
I gotta look at
unless it's delicious, and then, liver mush, North Carolina.
Yeah, so that's like liver pudding. I think we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah, scrapple is not. Scrapple is not that. Scrapple is basically all the leftover parts, as disgusting as they might be. It's kind of like sausage without any kind of spice added to it.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of just junk left over, ground up into just a log, and then kind of frozen until it comes time to serve it, and they cut it and fry it real thin. B&C Automotive Detailing. Yeah. So hold on. I made a banner for this. Boop, boop, boop. There you go.
Look at you. You can do it all.
I can do it all. Little prep time. That's all. Little prep time without the apple juice, and then once all the prep work is done, you can have as much apple juice as you want, and the show just kind of runs itself.
Yeah.
That's head cheese. Yeah, that's true. So head cheese and scrapple, I would say, are closer together than.
I've never tried head cheese.
Yeah, but it's all the junk that's left over.
Yeah,
just kind of mashed. So
there you go. Thursday night.
B&C Auto Detailing. Bob is up your way, so Bob might even show up to this thing. That would be cool. I'd love to hang out with you, Bob. Bob, you should come out and we have a drink together.
Yes, we're gonna have my very first old fashioned together.
That's right.
Made by the very own Gina Spinelli.
I cannot wait. It's going to be a good time. Make sure you guys follow Mike on his Instagram page. All of this information is on his Instagram page. I think he's posted at least 2 or 3 different not ads, but stories about the bike night that's coming up. Mm-hmm. Support your local small business. It looks like Bob is going to come. He's about 45 minutes away, he says.
Where's he from?
Bob, where you at? I know it's just north of Youngstown. We've talked about it before. I can look it up real fast. Hold on a second. Sawyersville. Sawyersville. He's in Sawyersville. Oh, he says nope. Wilkes Barre, Scranton area.
Okay.
Maybe he moved since the last time. I don't think so, though. Anyway, that's what I have in my shipping manifesto. That's his address.
That's just for you.
Oh, Sawyersville is in the middle. Wow. That is definitely a Southern thing to say, if I do say so myself. My goodness. Well, regardless, Bob, I hope to see you there.
Yep.
So
Neat.
definitely we'll have a drink and we'll have some good food and hang out with some good peeps. Faux show. And I don't know if there's any real competition there because you're a bike guy, and I don't remember seeing any posts from Bob on bikes. So maybe you guys can refer each other business.
There you go.
It's
Absolutely.
friends helping friends. That's how we do it.
That's what makes it go around.
All right. Well, I think that about does it for tonight. I think we've circled everything from rooters to the tutors. And everything in between. So appreciate everybody coming out.
Thank you all.
I look forward to seeing people at the bike show, bike night. Phoenix is going to be doing more of the same car shows here in Paulsboro, New Jersey, third Thursday of every month. And after that, who knows what's going to happen? Oh, by the way, it looks like I'm going to just give you the news since, breaking news. Breaking news. Looks like we're going to be doing a interior cleaner and conditioner. It will be the next for the Phoenix product lineup. Talked it over with my team this week, and I think that's the direction that we're going to do. Is
Awesome.
We're going to do an interior cleaner and conditioner. So that's the next lineup for Phoenix E.O.D. Look, Bob says that he doesn't do bikes, so now you can refer bikes to Mike, and Mike can refer cars to Bob. Look at that! Look at that! It's amazing. All right, everybody. Appreciate everyone for coming out. Absolutely love you guys. Fantastic Phoenix family, you all are. Don't forget to like and smash that button if you can. I'd appreciate it. How soon will we expect the new product? Well, if it's anything like the last 19 products, probably 6 months away because supply chains being what they are, it's just a nightmare to get all the logistics done. So it takes about 3 to 6 months to get from the inception of the idea to a manufacturing level. And then the process of testing it and retesting it and tweaking it. We don't like to do anything half-ass, and we definitely don't release a product until it's perfect. So since we just now, as of last week, got the idea of where we're going to go next, because I thought we were going to try to do panel prep and the glass cleaner because I have all the raw materials for that already. But seeing how Hydra kind of covers most of that already, we figured maybe, I don't know, maybe we can chew gum and walk at the same time. We'll do all three. Who knows? But as far as getting an actual, from concept to an actual working product after all the revisions that need to get done and, the horseman signing off on it. I remember doing the Hydra and like Fab he was not on board with the first iteration of the Hydra. So again, we had to go back and tweak the formula a little bit. So anyway, that's the idea. And you heard it here first. So appreciate y'all coming out. Mike, thank you so much for coming on Curmudgeon's Corner.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And thanks everybody for coming and participating. And had a great time.
I did too. It's always a good time. I truly appreciate you, and I appreciate you carving a little bit of time out for us here at the Curmudgeon's Corner. So until next time, everybody, thanks for coming out, and we'll see you guys later. Have a great night.
Have a good night.